Well, here we are, making the video that I've been procrastinating, announcing for, feels like 6 months now. But here we are. The reality is Beaver Fest is not going to happen. Moose Fest is probably not going to happen. And this shouldn't be surprising to anybody, but the problem is that even if I say those words, it doesn't carry the message that I need to deliver. So let's have a conversation, okay? I think many people know that New York has been extremely strict following being the early epicenter in the states of COVID. So as we go through this, I'm going to talk about the legal reasons why this has to be, the practical public safety reasons why this has to be, and our future as a community and why this has to be. So let's start really simply, okay? For those of you who don't know, there is a travel ban for people coming into New York State because we went from being the epicenter to one of the cleanest places for infection rates. So I've had a lot of friends, people I really do want to see, reach out from across the Eastern Seaboard. And look, if you come into the state, you're required to quarantine for 2 weeks before going outside. You could face a $2,000 fine if you don't. So I'll put up a list here of the states that are current as of today, which is August 3rd, and a link down there for the current list that you can check day to day. But first and foremost, if you come here, you are subject to a fine. Secondly, large gatherings are absolutely prohibited for any reason. So the festival ground is not leased. There's no camping anywhere in the Beaver Valley. There really isn't a lot of available property to go and find local camping. It's all either private or owned by the power company, so you'll be squatting, and you should expect to be roused by the sheriffs. And I mean that. I'm not calling them, but you should expect to be roused by the sheriffs if you go poach a stupid camping spot, and you'll deserve it. Going forward, those are just the basic things. Don't show up to those places. You can expect problems. Let's talk about the community. This is a very small area. I hear every year from the local businesses that we are their biggest weekend of the year, which is amazing because at best we're 300 people. That said, the entirety of Lewis County, so the area that not only covers the Beaver but also the Moose and that whole region, they have 6 ICU beds. 6, okay? So if someone gets sick, not only in that region is it very likely they don't have good insurance, but they're looking at a helicopter ride to the hospital where I work because we cover the regional ICUs. I work there as an environmental health and safety officer. I literally make sure that people on the COVID unit stay safe. So it's absolutely insane for me to do something where I could bring people in from 8 or more states into a tiny community and then put the people I care for at work at risk. And as someone who already 2 years ago almost died on a ventilator, I don't want to see a familiar face in that ICU. So let's go to the next one, okay? Moving forward as a community. There's a level of trust that you guys have in me and I have in you. And yeah, at the best of time, I love you guys. It's like herding hamsters, okay? But that's part of the territory. You should all know by now, I go above and beyond to make sure that this region is open, accessible, fun, and here for you every year. But this is different this time. We'll be back as soon as it's safe. Everything will resume. I'm going to try to make everything bigger because there are no races anymore. But on a personal level, I'm making this plea. On a community-wide level, a lot of people don't seem to understand that we are rapidly racing into the 20-year relicense of all of these dams. The Moose system, the Black system, the Beaver system. They're all connected, and screwing the pooch on one is going to ripple across to all the other ones. So it is absolutely vital that we are responsible. And I'm seeing you guys on social media. I'm seeing the photos of people not wearing masks, not social distancing. And anybody who has been to Beaver Fest knows that it is claustrophobic in those parking lots at the best of times, even on the off weekends. So to say that, yeah, the festival's not happening, but the releases are still there, so I'm still going because I'm going to be responsible, we all know that's not really true. And it sucks. Again, I put off doing this for like forever. The reality is that my request is really simple. If you're from one of the neighboring states where you can come in responsibly and social distance, wear masks, stick to a group, and camp or find a place to stay where it will not ripple and impact our future negotiations with Brookfield, that's fine. New Yorkers, you're all good. But we just can't have, a group of pirate campsites all over the place, people showing up in huge droves and packing these tiny places. And we really can't get caught up in the correlation that's going to happen between us showing up with tons of cars, with kayaks on top of the roofs, and kids going back to school. Because the reality is that we can expect cases to rise, and we can expect to get blamed for it, rightly or wrongly. That's just what's going to happen, not only here, but everywhere. Because we stick out like a sore thumb. So, I don't know. I hope this is cogent. I hope posting this unedited, it will ring through. But understand how much I hate doing this. Yes, the releases are going to be there. No, everyone is not always invited, but I'll make it up to you. I promise. I'll make it up to you. Thanks, guys.